On the surface, Damien Chazelle's musical La La Land, in theaters now, appears to be a modern romance pairing Ryan Gosling with Emma Stone across the glitzy backdrop of Los Angeles. But dig a little deeper and see that La La Land is a celebration of the cinema, a love letter to film, a reverence of a time when the movies were sacred. Minutes into La La Land's 2+ hour runtime, we can immediately discern how highly the filmmakers cherish the institution of film. I felt a sense of wonder that I don't think I've felt in a theater since Birdman 2 years ago. In the opening number, a song and dance performed by 130 Angelinos stuck in bumper-to-bumper gridlock on an exit ramp 100 feet above the highway, lamenting their unfulfilled dreams, I found myself on the literal edge of my seat, audibly whispering, "Wow." The sequence is captured in a single 6-minute take. The shot starts on a woman alone in her car, and layers of extras in coordinated outfits compound the frame until all of a sudden, people are breakdancing and skateboarding over car hoods, and a full percussion section appears out of a moving van. All the while, traffic goes on in the deep background. And with all these levels of nuance in the blocking, performance, setting, that's where it becomes key that the whole song is a single shot. It's real. This is not shot on a soundstage in front of green screen with stunt dancers doubling the performers and chopped up on the editing floor to look like a cohesive sequence. It's real. And isn't this why we go to the movies? To explore the possibilities of what can be accomplished on the screen? The movie goes on to ground itself in reality, addressing relationships and careers, but is always just a tap dance number away from escapism. And that's the paradox of the cinema. It reflects our world while simultaneously envisioning a better one. Another place we feel the film's authenticity is in the performance of its two leads. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone played a romantic pair in 2011's Crazy Stupid Love, one of the millennium's most original screenplays. Their chemistry on screen feels natural. The ease with which they appear to slip into one another makes it easy to forget that this love story is unfolding in a movie and not in my own life. When we meet Stone's Mia, she's serving up lattes as a barista on the Warner Brothers studio lot with dreams of making it big as an actress. Ryan Gosling's Sebastian is a jazz pianist who just scrapes by, playing cocktail parties and bars. A series of chance encounters lead them to one another, and after a honeymoon phase, they're ultimately forced to weigh the hopes and dreams of their respective careers against what could be a blossoming romance. The narrative is overflowing with love. Sebastian's love of jazz, Mia's love of performance, their love for each other. It's these complexities in writer-director Chazelle's screenplay that elevate this love story to so much more. The beats that move the story along aren't contrived romantic trivialties. They're instances of the characters following their passions. As a project of passion for Damien Chazelle, he had clear ideas about who he wanted making the film with him. After seeing an early screening of David O. Russell's Joy, Chazelle knew he needed director of photography Linus Sandgren to shoot the movie. Joy moved seamlessly from the eponymous protagonist's exuberant imagination to her dull reality. Similarly, La La Land floats between the sometimes harsh realities of trying to make it as an artist and the colorful musical sequences that our characters can only dream of. Now, this is aided by live lighting cues mid-shot, with the entire look of the film sometimes shifting while the camera remains static. Instead of cutting around these shifts, the film allows everything to unfold live before our eyes in the frame. And speaking of frames, the filmmakers shot the film in a unique aspect ratio, 2:5:5, meaning for every pixel in the vertical direction, there are 2.55 pixels in the horizontal direction, resulting in an unusually wide widescreen presentation. This aspect ratio alludes to many classic Hollywood musicals, such as Oklahoma, Singin' in the Rain, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. This cinematographic style combines old-school framing with contemporary long takes, sometimes traveling so far as from a distant wide shot to a tight close-up. In fact, special lenses had to be created to capture the film as Sandgren and Chazelle envisioned it. While creatively ambitious, La La Land occasionally falters technically, as the complexity of the camera moves leads to some close-ups being out of focus for no discernible story reason. But I understand sometimes you have to use the take that was best for performance, even if it was technically imperfect. The cinematography here exists to serve the story, and it does that marvelously. Considering the A-list talent and the uniquely bold energy of the film, it's surprising that this is only Damien Chazelle's second feature film after 2014's critical darling Whiplash. This is the one he wrote first, but was unable to get produced for years, as no studios were willing to take the risk on an untested director's jazz musical. Once Whiplash achieved commercial success at returns of nearly 16 times the budget, the money found its way to Chazelle, and he was able to make the movie he'd wanted to make. He clearly has an understanding of film that's served him well so far. A jazz-like understanding of the pace and rhythm of sequences and entire films, a historical understanding of where his movies fall in history, using his encyclopedic knowledge to allude to the greats before him, and a narrative understanding, from which deep, multifaceted characters and storylines are born. La La Land is a must-see this season, to remind you of the near-endless possibilities of what can be conjured up by film.